in the farthest reaches of the multiverse, where time is neither linear nor bound by mortal comprehension, a tremor reverberated through the fabric of existence. Not a tremor of matter or energy, but of cosmic law itself. It began in the Null Zone, a void between realities that even the gods of creation approached with trepidation. Here an ancient evil was stirring, TF Darkseid, the tyrant whose ambition had long surpassed the physical realms of New Genesis and Apocalypse, had discovered a rift in the multiversal weave, an anomaly where the natural order was thin enough to be manipulated and dangerously unstable. Darkseid had always sought ultimate control, and now, armed with knowledge that spanned dimensions, he intended to claim dominion not only over matter and life, but over reality itself. His presence, a shadow across countless planes, sent whispers through the higher cosmic entities. The stars themselves shivered as he moved through the void, his eyes glowing with the Omega effect, an energy that could unmake life, obliterate timelines, and bend the will of gods. The balance of the multiverse was at risk, for Darkseid's hunger had grown beyond the mere conquest of worlds. He sought to challenge the ultimate arbiter of cosmic justice, the Living Tribunal. The Living Tribunal, a being whose very existence was the embodiment of multiversal equilibrium, sensed the disturbance almost instantaneously. His three faces, representing equity, necessity, and vengeance, turned as one, perceiving the ripple Darkseid had sent through reality's core. The tribunal had remained impartial for eons, observing conflicts, ensuring that no single force could upset the balance. And yet, the arrogance of Darkseid posed a threat unlike any before. Darkseid, however, was not merely a warlord or a god. He was a force of inevitable decay, a being whose will could crush realities with a thought. Yet as he moved closer to the heart of the multiversal lattice, even he felt the weight of scrutiny. The tribunal was aware of him, and awareness in this case was not passive observation. It was judgment incarnate. TF Darkseid's approach was calculated, not reckless. He had spent eons traversing the multiverse, gathering knowledge from fallen realms and mastering anomalies that even the tribunal rarely intervened in. Every planet he corrupted, every timeline he bent to his will, was a rehearsal for the ultimate confrontation. And yet even he could not fully anticipate the tribunal's judgment. The tribunal did not merely oppose power. It weighed intent, morality, and consequence. A single misstep, a single act of arrogance, could be met with obliteration at a scale Darkseid had never known. Across the void, as Darkseid's form emerged, the stars realigned, casting shadows that stretched like fingers of doom. His voice, deep as collapsing galaxies, resonated through the nothingness. "I have transcended your petty mandates, Tribunal. I am the end that you cannot judge," the Living Tribunal responded, his voices intertwining in a tone that vibrated through the multiversal lattice. "Arrogance is the seed of all annihilation. You seek dominion over what you do not understand. I am not a god to be challenged. I'm the balance of existence itself." The words were neither threats nor warnings. They were the prelude to inevitability. The tribunal, an incorporeal yet omnipotent force, began weaving the threads of judgment around Darkseid, assessing the weight of his soul, the scale of his ambitions, and the nature of his malevolence. Yet Darkseid was undeterred. For the first time in his millennia-spanning existence, he was not merely facing opposition, he was facing ultimate scrutiny. And as he stood there, within the trembling void, he realized something that even he had never anticipated. Some forces were beyond mere conquest. Still, his resolve hardened. The tribunal could judge, but it had not yet acted. And until it did, Darkseid had time to bend, corrupt, and destroy. The tribunal's presence was absolute. Three faces, each representing a facet of cosmic law, equity, necessity, and vengeance, turned simultaneously toward the tyrant. Their gaze did not merely observe. It pierced through dimensions, scanning every possibility, every intention, every ripple Darkseid's being had ever caused. "You trespass against the natural order," the tribunal intoned, voices harmonizing into a resonance that vibrated through the bones of existence itself. Your ambition threatens not just one reality, but all realities. Judgment is inevitable, Darkseid sneered, his voice echoing like the collapse of a dying star. I am the end of all things. You cannot stop inevitability. I am the ultimate Omega. With a gesture, beams of Omega energy erupted from his eyes, tearing across the void in twisting arcs of destruction. Entire pocket dimensions crumbled under their force. Planets vaporized before they could scream. Darkseid's assault was relentless, fueled by the culmination of eons of conquest, his every strike bending the laws of physics and reality alike. Yet, the tribunal did not flinch. Time slowed and warped under its will. Every Omega beam, every pulse of annihilation was absorbed, nullified, or redirected. The tribunal's judgment was precise and instantaneous, countering Darkseid's assault with a scale that was incomprehensible to any mortal mind. With a gesture of one hand, the tribunal unmade a cluster of Darkseid's attacks, not by destruction, but by rewriting the probabilities of their existence, folding them into non-existence before they could touch anything. Darkseid's eyes blazed with fury. He unleashed the full spectrum of the Omega effect, warping dimensions, collapsing timelines, and summoning the energies of countless fallen worlds. The void around them became a battlefield of unimaginable chaos. Stars collided, rifts tore open, and echoes of potential realities screamed into the void. Every strike of Darkseid was met by the tribunal's unyielding counter, a cosmic dance of destruction and preservation. The very concept of power was redefined in their clash. For a moment, it seemed Darkseid might succeed. He bent an entire universe to his will, attempting to bind the tribunal in chains of warped reality. Yet the tribunal's three faces remained unwavering, eyes blazing with cosmic inevitability. With a voice that resonated across the multiverse, the tribunal declared, "Your tyranny is finite. Your reach is limited. You overstep the bounds of existence itself." And with a gesture, the tribunal wove the very fabric of law and balance into a weapon far beyond comprehension. Time fractured around Darkseid. Every possibility he could exploit collapsed simultaneously. Every reality he sought to dominate became a mirror of failure. The Omega beams that once unmade stars now dissolved into nothingness before leaving his eyes. His form, massive and unstoppable as he was, began to shrink under the tribunal's absolute judgment. Cosmic chains, intangible yet unbreakable, wrapped around him, threads of existence itself enforcing law against chaos. Darkseid roared, a sound that shook dimensions, a sound that would have shattered the will of any mortal being. But even his rage was meaningless against the immutable force of the tribunal. The Living Tribunal's final judgment came not as a strike of energy, nor as a weapon of force, but as an erasure of intent. The tribunal stripped Darkseid of his authority, his ambitions, and his essence as a tyrant. The Omega effect, the very core of his being, unraveled. The multiverse exhaled as the void around them healed, the fractures sealed, and reality restored. Darkseid's form collapsed into nothingness, not as a corpse, not as a casualty, but as an idea unmade, an existence deemed incompatible with the balance of all things. His roar faded into silence, leaving the void empty, yet resonant with the echo of cosmic justice. The Living Tribunal stood alone, an eternal sentinel, its judgment absolute, its will unchallenged. The scales of reality, which had trembled under Darkseid's ambition, were now at rest. Across the multiverse, stars shone once more. Timelines stabilized. Life, death, and existence continued unbroken. Darkseid, the tyrant who had dared to defy the ultimate arbiter, was no more. And the tribunal, ever impartial, resumed its eternal watch, a silent reminder that no power, however infinite, could rise above the law of all existence.